Greetings and welcome to STEM Smart Academy. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. I want we discuss the Kasarani Private Schools cluster, Mathematics Grade 8 end of Term 1, the year 2026. This is what we are going to discuss throughout this session. Thank you for joining. Share this link to your other friends so that they might also join and enjoy these free sessions. Throughout this paper, I'm going to give you a one-on-one guidance that is required of you as a learner. So let's have a look at question number 1 of the wonderful paper. To those who might wish to reach out to us, our consultation number is 07 41 30 43 11. That is our consultation number. You can reach out anytime via normal calls or via WhatsApp. Then we will be able to respond to you. Don't forget to subscribe and share the link to your other friends. I want also to take this opportunity to bring to you our online tuition programs where we offer mathematics, physics, integrated science, and pre-technical studies. The sessions are customized to suit a learner weakness, therefore purpose to attend. The charges are only 500 Kenyan shillings. The charges are only 500 Kenyan shillings. And that is 500 Kenyan shillings per hour. Remember, this is a one-on-one tuition online via Google Meet. So the charges are 500 shillings per hour. We are located in Nairobi, and you can contact us via WhatsApp or via normal call through 07 41 30 43 11. Back to the question of discussion. Let's look at question number 1 of this great, wonderful paper that the length of a wall measures 23 meters. An architect wanted to fit in some spaces on the wall. He therefore divided the length by 7 meters by 7. What answer did he get correct to 3 decimal places? There is a letter missing here. This should be by 7. So, in other words here, they are asking, what will we get to 3 decimal places when we divide 23 by 7? Let's do that. So 23 being divided by 7, I'm going to use long method. 7 into 23 will be 3 times because of 21. 23 minus 21, you get a difference of 2. 7 into 2, it's impossible. I'm going to put a decimal point here, then add a 0 here. Now 7 into 20 will be twice because of 14. You minus 20 minus 14, this is 6. 7 into 6 is impossible, you add a 0 here. 7 into 60, this is going to be 8 times because of 56. When you subtract this, this is going to be 4. So you add a 0. 7 into 40 will be 5 times. This is because of 35. You subtract this, you get 40 minus 35, you get 5. 7 into 5 is impossible. You add a 0 to make it 50. So 7 into 50 will be 7 times because of 49. So you're getting the answer here is 3.2857. But looking at this, they want it only correct to 3 decimal places. So after the decimal point, you should be having 3 digits here, meaning the last digit should be 5. Now look at the digit to the right. Because the digit is 7, which is greater than 5, it's going to increase the value of 5 by 1, then the digit disappears. Therefore, your final answer is going to be 3.286. That is to 3 decimal places. What answer did he get correct to 3 decimal places? The answer should be 3.286. Let's look at the next question. That is question number 2. We are being told that find the value of 3 over 4 of 5 and a third plus 6 2 over 5 divided by 1 and a third minus 1 and a fifth. Here we are going to strictly follow what we call the BODMAS. Whenever you find you are dealing with more than one operation, make sure you go by the rules of BODMAS. Brackets are not there. We go with off. Off is 3 over 4. Off simply means multiplication. So 3 over 4 of 5 and a third will be 16 over 3. 16 over 3. So 3 here ones, 3 here 1, 4 here ones, 4 here 4. 1 times 4 is 4. So this will now become like 4 plus 32 over 5 divided by 4 over 3. Then you minus 6 over 5. After off, you go to division. Now we are going to deal with this. So this will now give you 4 plus, this will now become 32 over 5. The division sign changes to multiplication. Then the fraction after it reciprocates and becomes 3 over 4. Then minus 6 over 5. So when we are here, this will now become 4 plus 4 here once, 4 into 32, it is 8. 8 times 3, that should become 24 over 5. 24 over 5. Then now minus 6 over 5. Then after division, you go to multiplication, it's not there. Then we go to addition. So we are adding 4 plus 24 over 5. Remember, in grade 8, you are allowed to use calculators. So 4 plus 24 over 5, you will be getting 44 over 5. So this will now become 44 over 5. Now minus 6 over 5. So when you take 44 over 5 minus 6 over 5, you're going to get 7 whole number 3 over 5. 7 whole number 3 over 5 as your final answer. Question number 3. The market price of an article is 75 shillings. A customer paid 50 shillings after being allowed a discount. What was the percentage discount? So when you look at this first, let's get the market price is 75, but the customer paid 50 shillings. So let's compute what is called the discount. Discount is market price minus the selling price. The market price was 75. but later on this item was sold at 50 shillings, meaning a discount of 25 shillings was given. Then the question is asking what is called the percentage discount. You have to remember that percentage discount is equals to the discount over the marked price times 100%. So the discount here is 25 over the marked price, which is 75, times 100%. So when you take 25 over 75 times 100%, this is going to give you 33 and a third percent. 33 and a third percent, and this becomes your percentage discount. That becomes your percentage discount. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe, like, and share these videos to your other friends. Share them to your other friends so that they might also join and enjoy these sessions. We are proceeding well to question number 4. Use the square roots table to evaluate 0.018. So here they want to get the square root of 0.018. But remember to use the square roots table. So we go to the square roots table. This is the mathematical table. I want to go to the square roots table. Square roots table. Let's go to the, that is, I want the square roots, tangents. I want the square roots table. I want the square roots table. I'm in the square roots table. But now before that, this is 0.0. I have to express it in standard form. Now there is one thing I want you learners to understand. When we are dealing with this, you have to express it in standard form. Of the form should be A times 10 power n, where n should be an even number. N should be an even number. Whenever you are writing a number, whenever you want to get the square root of a number, and you have to express that number in standard form, make sure you put it into A times 10 power n, and the power should be an even number. An even number can be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So when we are here, I have to express this number in standard form such that the power of n becomes 2. So this will be like saying the square root of 1, 2. That will be 1.8 times 10 power negative 2. So we need to get the square root of this number. So to get the square root of 1.8 times 10 power negative 2, I have first to get the square root of 1.8. So I go to my square roots table. I want the square root of 1.8, ladies and gentlemen. The square root of 1.8. 1.8 is just like saying 1.80, whose square root is 1.3416. 1.3416. So this is giving 1.3416 times the square root of 10 raised power negative 2 is like saying 10 raised power negative 1. And now when you multiply these two, you're going to get your answer is 0.13416. That becomes your answer. That becomes your answer for question number 4. Kindly don't forget to subscribe. Remember, all of these are offered for free. Therefore, just support our channel to grow by hitting the subscription button. Also share the link to your other friends so that they might also join our sessions. I want now we look at question number 5. question number 5 of this question paper. We are being told that a mathematics teacher wrote the expression below on the board and asked his students to factorize. By showing you are working, factorize the expression. So when you look at the question, we've been given 3p plus 12 plus 5dp plus 20 AR. Dear learner, to factorize is to factor out all the common elements. So I'm going to group this expression into two. The first set will be 3p plus 12, and the second set will be 5dp plus 20 AR. After grouping them into two pairs, into two sets, I look at my first set, that is 3p plus 12. Then I think, what is the common factor here? What is the GCD of 3p and 12? The GCD here is 3. So I'll have 3 factored out into 3p divided by 3, I'll be left with the p. Then 12 divided by 3, I'll be left with 4. So that will be 3 into p plus 4. Then plus, look at your second set, that is 5dp plus 20 AR. What is the common term, or what is the GCD of 5dp and 20 AR? The common element here is 4, so we are going to factor out 4. Once factored out, I'll now be left with not 4 really, but should be 5. Should be 5. Once 5 has been factored out, I'll now be left with dp. I'll now be left with dp plus 4 AR, like that. So that is how you can factorize that part to get your answer correct. When you look at that, you cannot factorize it any further. So that becomes your answer. Allow I go to question number 6. In a game park, tourists saw giraffes, elephants, and lions. The number of lions seen was n. The number of elephants seen was 3 times the number of lions. The number of elephants seen was 6, less than that of giraffes. How many animals did the tourists see in the game park altogether? Altogether means added. So let's start by doing the analysis. We've been told here that the number of lions that was seen was n. So lions is n. So I'll write here, the number of lions is equivalent to n. Then we do the analysis. The number of elephants seen was 3 times the number of lions. 3 times means the number of elephants from that statement will be 3 multiplied by the number of lions, n. So this makes the number of elephants to be equal to 3n. The number of elephants seen, which is now this 3n, was 6 less than that of giraffes. So meaning we had also giraffes here. Now we are being told that the number of elephants seen was 6 less than the number of giraffes. That means that the number of giraffes exceeded the number of elephants by 6. So if elephants are 3n, then the number of giraffes will be given by 3n plus 6. Then they are saying, how many animals did the tourists see all together? So to get the sum of animals, you take the number of lions, n, plus the number of elephants, which is 3n, plus the number of giraffes, which is 3n plus 6. Add the like terms to form a single term. So n plus 3n will be 4n plus this 3n will be 7n. Then plus 6. So we are having 7n plus 6. 7n plus 6. Let's look at question number 7. Question number 7. That a cylindrical container of internal diameter 28 centimeters is full of water. The height of water is 30 centimeters. How many liters of water is in this container? So we are having a cylindrical container of this shape, whereby we're being told the diameter is 28 and the height is 30. Now they want the capacity in liters. First, I'll get the volume. Because it's a cylinder, the volume of water in this container will be given by pi r squared h. When you substitute, we've been strictly told to use this as pi. So our pi will be 22 over 7 multiplied by the radius. If the diameter is 28, then the radius will be half the diameter, which will be 14. Because it is squared, that means 14 times 14 times the height, which is now 30. Then remember to use your calculators for higher degree of accuracy. So we have 22 over 7 multiplied by 14 squared multiplied by 30. This is 18,480. We are having 18,480 cubic centimeters. But now because they want it in liters, remember that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 cubic centimeters. What about 18,480 cubic centimeters? When you cross multiply, this will be like saying 1 multiplied by 18,480, divide this by 1,000. So when you do that, the 0 and the 0 cancel. This one will introduce a decimal point. This moves it here. So you get your final answer as 18.48 liters. 18.48 liters as the answer to that particular question. Let's look at question number 8. That Cynthia left home at 6 a.m. for school, which is 8 kilometers away. She cycled at a speed of 6 kilometers per hour. After cycling for 4 kilometers, the bicycle had a puncture which took 15 minutes to repair. She continued cycling at the same speed. At what time did he arrive at school? These are questions from distance, speed, and time. It is my hope that you remember this triangle, the DST, distance, speed, time. So, Cynthia left home at 6:00 a.m. She was going to school and the distance between home and school was 8 kilometers. She cycled at a speed of 6 kilometers per hour. After cycling for 4 kilometers, now let's see, how long did it take Cynthia to cycle for 4 kilometers? The time. Remember, time is given by distance over speed. So the distance covered was 4 kilometers divided by the speed of 6 kilometers per hour. So when you divide that, 4 divided by 6, you're going to get 2 over 3 hours. This is like saying 2 over 3 hours, which is like saying when you change it to minutes, you multiply that by 60, which is 40 minutes. 2 over 3 hours is just like saying 40 minutes. So Cynthia used 40 minutes to cycle the 4 kilometers. Now, if the total distance between home and school was 8 kilometers, and already Cynthia has covered 4 kilometers. What is the remaining distance? The remaining distance will be given by 8 minus 4, which is still 4 kilometers. If that is the remaining distance to school, they are saying that the bicycle had a puncture which took how long? Which took 15 minutes to repair. So, first of all, if it took 15 minutes to repair, let us see how long again to repair. She continued at the same speed, meaning she continued at the same speed to cover this remaining part. At what time did he arrive to school? So let us see arrival time. This person departed at 6:00 a.m. She took 40 minutes to cover the first 4 kilometers. So we add the 40 minutes here. This will now become 6:40 a.m. After using the first 40 minutes to cover the 4 kilometers, as the bicycle developed a puncture that took 15 minutes. Remember, as someone is repairing the puncture, still the clock is ticking. So we add here 15 minutes. This will make it 6:55 a.m. So already it is 6:55 a.m. But Cynthia is not yet to school. She is still remaining with these 4 other kilometers to cover. And because she continued at the same speed, meaning at the original speed of 6 kilometers per hour, she is going to take another 40 minutes to cover the remaining 4 kilometers. So we add here the 40 minutes. 55 plus 40, that is 95. You cannot write 95 minutes. We are going to write here 95, you less 60, that will be 35. So we are going to have here 35. Then the 60 minutes we carry over as 1 hour to make it 7:35 a.m. And that is the time Cynthia arrived to school, 7:35 a.m. Let's have a look at question number 9. If the temperature increases from 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, by how much does it increase in Kelvin? By how much does it increase in Kelvin? First of all, let's get the temperature increase. Let's get the increase. The increase is given by the new value minus the old value. The new value is 30 minus 20. So there is an increase of 10 degrees Celsius. But now they want, by how much does it increase in Kelvin? So how do you convert degrees Celsius to Kelvin? So to get the temperature in Kelvin, you take your temperature in degrees Celsius, which is 10, plus 273. This makes it to become 283 Kelvin. 283 Kelvin. Let us have a look at question number 10. Let's have a look at question number 10. That, some people are interested in reaching out. Don't struggle. Our consultation number is 07 41 30 43 11. We also offer online tuition programs in mathematics, physics, integrated science, and pre-technical studies. Our charges are 500 shillings per hour per learner, and we are located in Nairobi. You can contact us via the number shown here, that is 07 41 30 43 11 for more inquiries. Question 10 says, Courier earns a basic salary of 40,000 shillings. He is also paid at a commission of 3% of the value of goods he sells above 100,000 shillings. In 1 month, he sold 20,000 items at 20 shillings each, what was his total earnings that month? The first thing we can do, because this person sold 20,000 items at 20 shillings each, let us get the value of goods sold, or rather the value of goods. The value of goods will be 20,000 items multiplied by the price per item, which is 20. This one now will become 400,000. 400,000 as the value of goods. So let's compute what is called commission. Commission is given by percentage commission over 100 times the value of goods. So this will become, let me write here, our commission will be given by percentage commission, which is 3%. So it will be 3 over 100 times the value of goods from which commission is being offered. Remember, commission is only given for value of goods sold above 100,000. So if this person sold value of goods worth 400,000, what's the value of goods above 100,000 here? We are going to take 400,000 minus 100,000. This makes it to become 300,000. So we multiply this by 300,000. The 2 zeros and these 2 zeros will cancel. And now this one will make it to become a 9,000 shillings commission. After that, the question wants the total earnings, which is normally given by the basic salary plus allowance. Sorry, basic salary plus commission. Basic salary plus what is called the commission. When you look at this, the basic salary is 40,000 plus the commission, which we found to be 9,000. Therefore, the total earnings this month were 49,000 shillings. 49,000 shillings as the total earnings for that person, that is courier, for that particular month. Let's look at question number 11. The question is, using a number line, find the value of the following arithmetic. Using a number line, find the value of the following arithmetic. So let's draw. First, they are saying -5 plus -7 plus +13. So I'm going to have my number line. I'm going to have my number line this way. And I want to be very, very keen. So I can have this as, let me see, -13, -12, -11, -10, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. This is what is called a number line. So when you are told to solve this using a number line, what happens is this. I'm first going to deal with this first part, that is negative 5 plus negative 7. So I'll start at negative 5. Negative 5 is here. Because I'm adding, and I'm adding negative 7, so I'm going to move 7 steps to the left because it's negative. So to the left 7 step, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After moving 7 steps to the right, I've landed at negative 12. Then after negative 12, I'm now supposed to add 13, and this 13 is positive. And because it is positive, I'm going to move 13 steps to the right. So now to move 13 steps to the right, let us see 13 steps to the right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. After moving 13 steps to the right, I'm landing at 1. This means that my answer is positive 1. Positive 1 is my answer. That's the final point I've landed to. You can see how a number line is used to solve questions with ease. Let's look at question number 13, sorry, number 12. Julia had 20 hectares of land. He shared the land among his 3 children, Joy, Junior, and John, in the ratio 2:3:5 respectively. How many hectares of land did Junior get? So first of all, let's compute the total ratio. To compute the total ratio, we are going to have 2 plus 3 plus 5, which is equivalent to 10. So the total ratio for this particular question is 10. Then they are talking about how many hectares of land did Junior get. So this 10 is equivalent, this total ratio of 10 is equal to the total piece of land, which is 20 hectares. What about Junior, who is being represented here by 3? What about 3? Now you cross multiply. This will be now 3 multiplied by 20 divided by 10. And this is going to give you 6 hectares. That means Junior got 6 hectares. Let's look at the next question. That is question number 13. A bus traveled from Narok to Bomet, a distance of 120 kilometers, and consumed 15 liters of fuel. The bus traveled from Bomet to Kisii, a distance of 280 kilometers. The rate of fuel consumption was the same for the first 2 trips. How much did the bus consume from Narok to Kisii? This is a very good question that needs us to understand exactly what it is asking. That a bus traveled from Narok to Bomet, a distance of 120 kilometers, and consumed 15 liters of fuel. That means for every 120 kilometers, this bus was consuming 15 liters of fuel. The bus then traveled from Bomet to Kisii, a distance of 280 kilometers. The rate of fuel consumption was the same for the first 2 trips. So, let us see from Bomet to Kisii. Let us see if 120 kilometers is equivalent to 15 liters, what about 280 kilometers? How many liters of petrol will be consumed? You cross multiply. This will now become 280 being multiplied by 15. then divided by 120. So when you take your calculator, 280 being multiplied by 15, then divided by 120, this gives you 35 liters. After computing that 35 liters, we now agree that the bus traveled from Nairobi to Bomet. How much did the bus consume? So, from Nairobi to Bomet, it consumed 15 liters. From Bomet to Kisii, from now Bomet to Kisii again, it was refueled and it consumed 35 liters. How much did the bus consume from Narok, which was the beginning, to Kisii? So here what we're going to do, we are simply going to add 15 plus 35 to make a total of 50. It consumed 50 liters of fuel. It consumed 50 liters of fuel. That is how you respond to that particular question. Question 14. The table below shows the number of books read by learners in a week. Learner A and the books. Find the average number of books. Find the average number of books. Now, when you look at the question, it seems that some values are missing. We have missing values, so there is an error. But now, let me give you just the question has its own problem. But now, say for instance, maybe the table below shows the number of books read by learners in a week. Learner A maybe read 15 books. Learner B read maybe 18 books. And learner C maybe read 4 books. And learner D read 7 books, for example. That is how the table should be completed. I know there is something missing, but I've just put those values there so that I can guide you on how such a question could have been answered. So the question is, find the average number of books. To compute the average, we do take the total over number of learners. So to get the total, we are going to take 15. In my case here, I'll have 15 plus 18 plus 4 plus 7. Being divided by how many learners? 4 learners. So when you compute, let's take 15 plus 18 plus 4 plus 7. That gives you 44. That gives you 44. And now when you divide 44 by 4, the average number of books read by a learner is 11 books. 11 books. 11 books. Let's look at the next part. That is question number 15, though it's not that very visible. But allow I read it and give me a listening ear. That a carpenter made a stool in the shape of a triangle. The vertices of the stool top were labeled X, Y, Z, such that the angle XZ is equals to 90, XY is equals to 8, and YZ is equals to 10 centimeters. Construct triangle. Construct triangle XZ. Now I think the question should be angle XYZ. This one should be XYZ is equals to 90 degrees. So this is how you are going to proceed with this question. They are saying XY is equals to 8 centimeters. So I have to draw this just a sketch. This is my X, this is my Y, and this is 8 centimeters. Then they are saying YZ is equals to 10 centimeters. But remember the angle at XYZ here is 90. XYZ meaning angle at Y is 90. So you have to construct here an angle of 90. So what you do, extend the you extend this line at Y, stand at the center here, make an arc, come to one of your arcs, make an arc at the top, come here without adjusting, make another arc. Then now draw your line. But now, remember YZ should be only 10 centimeters. YZ is equals to 10 centimeters as per the question. So stand at Y, measure 10 centimeters, come make an arc that way. So that particular point will be Z. Now you are free to complete the line to join X to Z this way. And that's how you could have constructed it and gotten your 2 marks correct. We are moving well. Keep subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos to your other friends. Tell them that STEM Smart Academy is an online school number 1. Let's look at question number 16. That during a census, the population of a village was found to be 52.547. Express this population in standard form. Remember, when you've been given 52.547, in standard form it should be in the form of A times 10 power n, where A is between 1 and 10. So here, I'm going to move one step to the left. So I'll be having 5.2547 times 10. Because I've only moved one step to the left, it will be times 10 power 1. That's how you express that number in standard form, and that becomes your answer. Question 17. Use the square roots table to find the square root of 0.0476. Now we need to find the square root of 0.0476. Remember, here first you have to express it in standard form. So in standard form, we're going to have 4.76 times 10 power negative 2. Times 10 power negative 2. We are finding its square root. So 4.7 then 6. Let's go to the 4 figure. Under the square root, 4.7 then 6. 4.7 then 6. Let me see. 6 is here. 4.7 then 6. 4.7 is here. Then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is here. So 4.7 then 6 is 2.1817. So this will be 2.1817 being multiplied by 10 raised to power negative 2. Its square root will become 10 raised to power negative 1. And when you multiply this, you're going to get 0.21817 as your answer for that particular question number 17. Keep following keenly. Ask questions where you don't understand. I said to those who are interested, you can contact us via the number 07 41 30 43 11. That's the number you can use to contact us anytime you wish. Also remember this online tuition program that we are having, and the subjects we offer: mathematics, physics, integrated science, and pre-technical studies. The charges are only 500 shillings per hour per learner, and trust me, the team is well trained, and we are confident enough that after the tuition program, you would have improved your academic subject performance. Our contact is here, and our location is also in Nairobi. Keep subscribing. The ratio of boys to girls in Amani school is 3:2, while that of Raya school is 5:4. Which ratio is greater? So in grade 8, we learned about comparing ratios and determining the greatest ratio. For you to compare ratios, express each ratio as a fraction. Remember, when you have the ratio A is to B, the ratio A is to B in fraction form will be written as A over B. Therefore, the ratio 3:2 can be written as 3 over 2, and the ratio 5:4 can be written as 5 over 4. Look at the denominator of your LCMs, that is 2 and 4. The LCM of the denominators is 4. Multiply each fraction now by the LCM. I multiply here by 4, also here by 4. So you see, let us see this. 2 here once, 2 into 4, 2. 2 times 3, that is 6. 4 here once, 4 here 1. 5 times 1, that is 5. Now when you look at this, between 6 and 5, which one is greater? 6 is greater. This 6, which ratio is it? Was it representing? It was representing 3:2. So when they are asking which ratio is greater, the correct answer is 3:2 is greater. And that's how you earn your 3 marks. You first start by expressing each ratio as a fraction. Multiply each fraction by the LCM, then compare the values. The one with the greatest value represents the ratio which is greater. Question number 19. Mr. Kiplangat spends 2 over 3 of his money on magazines, then 3 over 5 of the remainder on refreshments, and then has 40 shillings left. How much money did he start with? So, magazines alone, this person spends 2 over 3 of his money. Then a third of the remainder. First, let's get the remainder. The remainder will be given by 1 minus 2 over 3. So our remainder will be 1 over 3. Then we are being told that 2 over 5 of the remainder on refreshments. We have the refreshment 3 over 5, sorry, they are saying 3 over 5 of the remainder, which is 1 over 3. When you simplify this, this will be 1 over 5. So 3 over 5 of the remainder on refreshments and has 40 shillings left. So let's get the remainder now. The total fraction adds up to 1 minus what was spent on magazine, which is 2 over 3, plus what was spent on refreshments, which is 1 over 5. So when you take 2 over 3 plus 1 over 5, that gives you 13 over 15. So this 13 over 15, you minus from 1, you're going to get this as 2 over 15. Then, remember, this is what is now remaining. This remainder is now equated to, it's now equivalent to 40 shillings. The 40 shillings represents the remainder. So if 2, that one I can now equate and say, if 2 over 15 is equivalent to 40, how much did he head with at the start? What about the total fraction, which is 1? You cross multiply. This will be 1 multiplied by 40 divided by 2 over 15, which is going to be equal to, let me do that. When I take 40 divided by 2 over 15, I get 300 shillings. So that means that Kiplagat initially had only 300 shillings. And that's how you earn your 3 marks, your 2 marks. You can see how simple mathematics is. Question number 20. The 12 women working at the same rate can clean a compound in 4 days. How long will it take 8 women to do the same job? We have the number of women and we have the number of days. We are being told that 12 women working at the same rate can clean a compound in 4 days. How long will it take 8 women to do the same job? So we ask ourselves a question. If 12 women can complete a job in 4 days, how long will it take 8 women? This is a question on indirect proportionality, whereby an increase in item A results to a decrease in item B in the same ratio. Because the number of women have decreased in the ratio 8:12, then the number of men has to increase in the same ratio 12:8. So to get the number of days here, we are going to have 12:8, that is 12/8, being multiplied by 4. And this gives you 6 days. 6 days. Question 21. The perimeter of a piece of land is 856 centimeters. The length of the land is 298 meters. Calculate the width of the land. That is the question we are having. I think it should be 856 meters, not centimeters here. So, the perimeter of a piece of land, this piece of land seems to be circular. So not circular but rectangular, whereby the perimeter is 856 meters. The length is 298 meters. I'll start by saying that perimeter is given by 2 into length plus width. So our perimeter here is 856. So we'll say 856 is equivalent to 2 into the length is 298 plus W. So this will become 856 is equal to, when you take 298 you multiply by 2 multiplied by 298, that becomes 596. 596 plus 2W. Then collecting like terms, we have 856 minus 596 being equivalent to 2W. So 856 minus 596, you get 230, sorry, 260. So this 260 is equals to 2W. To get W, divide both sides by 2. So 260 divided by 2 should be equal to 2W divided by 2. 2 and 2 cancel. 2 here 1, 2 here 130. 130 is equals to W. Calculate the width. So you come and say that the width of this land is 130 meters. Let us look at question number 22. Express 0.8 recurring decimal as a fraction in its simplest form. You can see the 8 as a dot on top, meaning that 8 is recurring. So we can say let R be equal to 0.8888 because that 8 is recurring. Then 10R will be equal to 8.888. So when you subtract equation 1 from equation 2, you are going to have 10R minus R should be equal to 8.888 minus 0.8888. So this will become 10R minus R, that will be 9R, being equal to 8. 9r is equal to 8. Therefore, r will be, when you divide both sides by 9, r will be given by 8 over 9. R will be given by 8 over 9. And that becomes your answer for question number 22 in the simplest form. I want to look at question number 23. Dear learners, the length of a fabric shrunk from 175 centimeters to 150 centimeters after washing. Calculate the percentage decrease. Before we get the percentage decrease, first let's get the decrease. Decrease is given by the original value, which was 175 minus 150. This gives you 25 centimeters. Now to compute percentage decrease, you take the decrease over the original value multiplied by 100%. So the decrease here is 25. Over the original value, it was initially 175. Then you multiply this by 100%. When you're there, let us see 25 over 175 being multiplied by 100. That becomes 14 over 7. 14 over 7%. 14 over 7%. Let's look at the last question of this paper, where we are being told that a rectangular box measures 25 meters by 15 meters. Part A, find the perimeter. So we have a rectangular box measuring 25 by 15. To get the perimeter is given by 2 into length plus width. So this will be 2 into, our length is 25 plus our width, which is now 15. So this will be like saying 2 multiplied by 25 plus 15, that is 40. So this gives you, when you work it out, this gives you 80 meters. 80 meters. Part B, calculate the area. To calculate the area, maybe let me pin my number here so that others can follow. The number is 0741 30 43 11. Calculate the area. Because it's rectangular, you know that area is equal to length multiplied by the width. The length is 25 multiplied by the width of 15. With the help of the calculator for higher degree of accuracy, that will be 25 multiplied by 15, giving you 375. 375 square meters. 375 square meters. That marks the end of this question paper. That is grade 8 mathematics, end of term 1, Kasarani cluster. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos. Don't forget, if you have someone who is interested for tuition programs, kindly refer them to STEM Smart Academy. We offer mathematics, physics, integrated science, and pre-technical studies sessions. We are based in Nairobi, and our charges are only 500 shillings per hour. Our contact number is 0741